some stuff done here real quick, but we are going to go live here tonight. I'm actually in the hotel and I'm actually working on something that is coming out to you guys too. And this is how I can um, post to your guys' website, right? And I'm going to do it right now to the people that are live, and we're going to watch people come into here from me doing this. So I'm kind of actually a little bit behind, but hey, it's all right. Things happen, and we're going to make things happen, and we're going to learn something today. And I'm going to teach you something that's going to change your business, right? And so this is what we are going to do. All right, well, if I can type here, I'm live, right? I'm alive. That's good, right? Everybody's alive. That is a good thing. This thing will quit being stupid. I will be able to get talking here better. Um, Paste, and we will get. I will actually be like getting this done. Sorry, guys. So, with this said, I just want to jump on here. I'm in Orlando, Florida. I had a great class today. And so, this is something that I want to hit on some things that I have learned this week. I learned all kinds of things. And this is what I love about learning, and we get to learn lots of things. And so I'm going to hit on some things that I learned, and I'm going to teach you all some stuff that I learned and how I will be able to help you guys better. And that is what is awesome. What is up, Mr. Billy? How are you doing? And so I just sent the text out. And so if you can give me some thumbs up, I don't know how well I'm only going out on YouTube tonight because I'm in the hotel, and it is something that I can only do here. I don't have all my screens, so if you do have questions, I do have my computer up on the back side as long as it keeps going. Time to turn up the volume on the profile and or be prolific and relentless. And this is some things that we actually had a meeting before we got on here and in our thing, and some people are like, man, we got that spring itch. Who all's got that spring itch? He's got up to 60 degrees a day, and we're ready to go pressure wash. Let's go put signs out. Let's go do this. But I'm going to just say, hold your horses a little bit. I know I normally say, go do it. Now, if you're in the South, that's a different story. But up here in the North, it is a different story where, you know, next week's probably going to be in the 30s because that's just the way the weather is up here. If you don't like it, the season is going to change next week. It will change. I guarantee you. Next week it'll be completely different. Evening, Jason. I got the itch in North Carolina. I think a lot of people has got the itch, and not just you in North Carolina. And so this is something that we're going to talk on and hit on and do some talking about what we can do to get ready for spring. This is something that I see a lot of people not executing this time for your business. And this is a time that we need to start working on our business. Obviously, we needed to start working on it all winter, but if you haven't been doing some things, there's some things that you need to be doing. What's your marketing plan for this year? Well, Jason, I'm just going to go do some marketing, right? And so this is something that we have to do so that way we can be ready for when the spring comes. This is things that we need to do so when spring comes, we're not worrying about this. And if you don't know what a marketing plan is, a marketing plan is very important in growing a pressure washing Christmas light or pressure washing business. When are we going to send out the EDDM? Well, or what are we going to send out? How many times are we going to post? How many times are we going to do all of this stuff? Right? Systems and hiring. Absolutely. This is some things that we can have set up, because what's going to happen is you're going to come in here till spring and you're not going to have that stuff set up, and you're You're gonna be like, well, I can't hire nobody because of this. Let's get rid of the excuses and let's make things happen. So, with that said, I want to talk a little bit about how and the things that why a pressure washing. Let's talk about that. Why is a pressure washing business a great side hustle or a full time business? And I want to hit on something because I've actually dealt with this twice this weekend. The side hustle versus the full time business. A lot of people do this as a side hustle, and you don't think you need to charge what Jason's been telling me to charge. And that's a big mistake, a huge mistake. Now, the one company, they started listening to me. They went to one of my they were actually at the Christmas lights yesterday. They're doing well. They have 700 clients in Dallas, and they each make $65,000. Now, I know that's well, but that's a lot of headache for $65,000. And so, with that, when we get this as a side hustle, they both have fireman jobs. They're making $100,000 on their main job, and they don't charge enough for this business. And I had one guy on our call. He does very well. He owns a marketing company, and he don't charge enough in his own business for pressure washing. And so he actually did a job. It ended up being a food bar. It ended up taking him way longer than he thought, and it's just a nightmare. And he's like, "Well, I already got a job. I really don't need this, right? And so these are things that we have to think about, of where we need to be at, and doing that, right? And so this is something that is pretty awesome, and it's pretty cool to see when we see people get that trigger of what I premium pricing. Anybody can do this cheap and do it as a side hustle, right? I don't need that money. But if you have that mindset, it's going to be bad for you. And so what that means is this is what that means. So we had a shoot, what were I going with that? So Michael used to talk about this a lot. Michael Chrysler used to talk a lot about, the people that don't charge because they have their insurance, and so they don't think they need to charge much. And really, it's a mindset. Oh, I know where I was going with this. And so, I know a couple that used to have that mindset, and that is Dan down in Charlotte, right? Charlotte was Dan. Dan has a full time job down there, makes like multiple six figures, doing very well. And so they decided to start a pressure washing business. And they're the ones that are washing 6 hours on Saturday or Sunday, and that's all they do. And they ended up doing $100,000 in pressure washing alone. But before they started that, they were working 10, 12 hour days and making nothing. And so these are some things that we have to think about when we are trying to grow our business, right? Yes, it's a side hustle. Yes, it's whatever we want it to be. But let's think of this as a business. Let's get in the mindset. It's a business. Whether we're trying do it as a side hustle or a full-time business. And yes, we're going to charge premium pricing. You don't have to charge premium pricing, but I promise you, you will be out of business before you want to be out of business. And so these are some things that you have to think about when we are building a business, right? What if you're only going to start a business just to have a business? Then why have a business, right? Why even go through all the headache of having a business? And so this is some things that we need to think about, of where we need to be at and what we need to do. So just some things that, what's your thoughts? I want to hear what some of your thoughts are on a side hustle and not charging premium pricing versus what a business is and charging premium pricing and being successful. I had our class today, and it was a great class. There were 6 people that came to the in-person training, at train.com, and you can sign up for our next class with Mr. Chris. Chris actually gave some of his story at the Christmas light thing. It was pretty awesome. Had everybody crying because that's the way he does. But these are some things, because the story is amazing. But these are some things that you can do to grow your business. Chris in here, he was one of those. He had a side hustle, right? He had a side hustle. He started in 2006 or 7, and he had a side hustle. And he never made no money because he had a side hustle, right? And these people never went to training. This was the very first time they ever went to training. And so when Chris first time his time he ever went to training, guess what he did? He started doubling and tripling his business. And so this is why it is important that we got to happen. Hustles are for them $99 fellas. And some of those $99 fellas aren't even $99 fellas. Some of those are $49 fellas, right? Because they don't know no different. And so this is why it is important that we try to do the things that we need to do to grow our business. But what are your thoughts on how can you help someone that is in the side hustle business and come into a business? These were some of my thoughts, but as we start growing and as our mindsets start changing, we will see results, and when we see results, it is awesome when we do this. And this is something that one of the questions that came up in the class, and I see it coming up there. But Jason, what about all the $45 and $95 guys in my area? Well, that don't worry about them. That's not your problem. The only competitor that you need to worry about is yourself. Are you doing better than you did yesterday? Are you growing more than you did yesterday? What are you doing to change your ways? We were also talking about how things distract us. What are some things that distract you from keeping you grow your business? And I'll tell you probably the number one thing that is the biggest distraction, and that's your phone, right? You got Facebook on it, you got TikTok on it, and I about guarantee you, if you start going and looking at your battery power, that you will find out that you have a lot of things that will cause you to stop working, right? You look at Facebook and you spend 50 hours a week on Facebook. Well, guess what? What if you spent 50 hours in your business? How would that change your life by changing the where your time at? It's important. I turned off all my notifications so that when you look at it, you don't have all this distraction of saying, "Oh my God, I got all these phone numbers and blah blah blah," right? And so these are some things that we have to do to help us and keep us from falling in the cracks of not getting moving forward. Is there any kind of pricing range for flat work, 20 to 26 cents a square foot? I mean, I tell people to charge 20 to 40 cents a square foot, and I try to push people 30 cents a foot. 30 cents a square foot is going to get us at a good price, and it's going to get us. Yeah, you're competing with yourself, right? And this is something that is important, that we got to understand, that we are competing with ourselves. So I'm going to go get my water here because I'm thirsty. Thirsty. So I haven't told too many, but I have told a lot of people on here, but I want to tell that I've mindset about. And it's something that it's helped me a whole lot. And this is going to help me even more. And so I want to tell you a little bit about what I've changed my mindset here lately. So Jason almost hit a number on the old scale that I didn't want to hit, right? I didn't want to hit that scale number. I got to a number that was like 319 pounds. And I'm like, we're not hitting that 320. And so I had a mindset shift, mind shift stuff. And so this is the exact same thing that I want you to understand that you got to do in your business sometimes. Sometimes we have to do the same things. And so what I want to hit on is so I was at 319. I'm like, you know what? I will do whatever I have to do to change my life. 5 weeks ago, I decided to do it on a Monday, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to do it. So I have my friend Jeremy Main, who is Pink Pro Wash, who did $800,000 last year, right? A garbage man to $800,000, which is amazing in 3 years. But what I want to hit on is that I was like, you know what? Keep losing audio. Well, that's not good. Um, I hope it don't lose. Let me know if anybody else is having that. And so I decided to start making some lifestyle changes, right? I decided that, hey, I'm going to make a lifestyle change with my health. You can make a lifestyle change if you want to change it with your finances. You can change it with all kinds of stuff. So when what I did is I went and I started my pressure washing business. You had to get the same size as your little buddy. And so um, I don't know why I'm having issues, but let me make sure. You know what? I did turn this down. I don't know if that's going to cause it or not. Anyone add subtitles. And so this is something that I did. And so what I did is I went and I started changing my lifestyle. And so it wasn't easy. And I actually went and I started to eat only meat. Um, so when I only ate meat, and I started dropping the weight pretty quickly. And so what it helped me do was a whole lot. And so actually in the last 40, 35 days, I dropped down 25 pounds. And I'm pretty happy about that. I feel a lot better. I can actually focus. And so we can do this as we grow. And no, he did not do 800,000 solo. This is what he did. Um, so but yeah, so that's what I did. And so with that, I was able to drop quite a bit, and this is where I'm at now. So there's things that you can do that you can change to do the thing with your lifestyle, right? Whether it's the cash, whether it's whatever it is, there's a lot of things that we can do to help us change our mindset. And if we have a poor mindset or we have a mindset of, well, you can't really do this, then you're right. We got to get out of that mindset. And if you don't get out of that mindset, it's going to be super hard to be able to grow your business. You know, I've been working with a couple people that I've been doing their websites with, and it's pretty cool. And this is something that I've been working on for a while. And so, am I still having bad audio? Because I'm losing a lot of people. Um, is everybody, am I still having audio problems? Funny enough, today's sermon was on food and controlling yourself, right? And it goes a long way. I must have bad audio. Am I having bad audio? Yeah, the audio is rough. All right. Well, pretty clear on the end. It's probably the room you're in, and it probably is. I might not have great internet, but the Wi-Fi is spotty at your hotel. But it happens. So these are some things that we have to do to be able to change our mindset, right? You can change your mindset, and that's the cool thing about this stuff. You know, there is things that you can do that can change your lifestyle. You know, when Jeremy decided off the garbage truck and do a pressure washing business, it was a big leap of faith. It was. It wasn't easy. When Chris quit Pepsi, it was a big leap of faith. When I quit the firehouse, it was a big leap of faith. And so these are some things that we have to do so that way we can keep growing, doing our business and making us grow. And so if we don't do these things, we will struggle, we will have hard times. And this is the awesome thing about growing this pressure washing business. And you know, if you don't think you can do it, you're probably right. But if you think you can, you believe you can, you think that you can do things and you put your mind to it, you set up a marketing plan, you know that you're going to do 100 yard signs a week on every Friday. You're going to make sure you have enough yard signs for that. You're going to do, you're going to make sure that you have your EDDM ready. You're going to spend $1,000 a month in AdWords. You're going to bump it up to $2,000 in April and May. You're going to cut it back in June, July, and August. You're going to bring it back, right? I have a marketing plan. And so I know what I'm working on and I know where I'm going to go with that this year. So these are things that you have to do so that way we can grow your business. And so these are things that if you don't have a marketing plan, it's going to be rough. I'm going to write out 10 blogs. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. And if we don't do that, we have to make sure that this is what we're going to do. 30 seconds. So, with that, what I'm going to answer, I've seen you guys are going crazy over here in the chat, and I might go down through here because I want to answer some questions. But there's a great question here. How important is it to website optimize? That's a great question. So, you don't have to have a website to get business. That is only one way to get business. I can show you many businesses that have done $500,000 and they had a crappy website, literally a crappy website. And so if you think you got to have the best of the best website, that is not the case. I promise you that is not the case. A website can help, but that's all it can do is to help. You can do other things with your website. And so it does. Jason did an incredible job on our website. So actually, I did make a website. I'm going to be making more websites and doing more stuff. I'm trying to figure out the pricing this week, and it's pretty cool. So, Rivertown got a nice apartment complex through his chat widget that I put on his website that I don't have it all the way set up because I messed that up. But you know what? I'm gonna learn, and it's not perfect. And I want, and whatever your marketing is, it ain't got to be perfect. If you think it's got to be perfect, you won't do anything, right? And so this is some things that we have to think about when we're doing marketing, when we're doing stuff. And I know people are probably gonna be like, I can't believe you would do that. But I promise you, there's going to be things you're going to mess up that you can't control everything. You can, but 9 times out of 10, when you try to control everything, you don't get nothing done. I'm going to get this done by the end of the week, but it's not perfect. So that month, the end of the month comes, I'm going to get this done, but it's got to be perfect. It's not going to be perfect. Done is better than perfection all day long. If I sent you $5.99, would you take a peek at my website show? Um, um, but these are some things that we can do. If you want to know when I go live, text me. Actually, you can text me too. This on here too, if you want to send it to me. Text me at 859. Text King if you want to know when I go live. Text King at 859-696-1101. Let's see here. I'm gonna go through some questions here. Have you lagged that's buffering? I had a country job working on the highways and street. How important? Let's see. I'm all in believing in yourself and all of that, but dude, no one is going to pay anywhere near what you're trying to charge. You know, you're right. No one will pay you what I want you to charge. You're absolutely right. I got 100 other people in here saying the opposite of what you're saying. So you believe that, and that's the problem. We got people in here believe that you cannot do it. I promise you, you got a poor mindset, and when you have a poor mindset, you will struggle because you are not your customer. I see it so many times of I wouldn't pay that. Why would my customer pay me that? Well, guess what? I wouldn't pay $2,000 for Christmas lights, but I got a whole lot of people that do. And I know he's a troll. And guess what? I'm going to hit on this because there are other people in here with self-limiting beliefs that don't believe they can get what they know they can get out of it. They don't believe that I can't get 30 cents a square foot because you're in my area, right? And so these are some things that we have to think about. And I know he's a troll, but here's what we got to remember. And because I know people struggle with this. This is a struggle for a lot of people is that they don't believe that they can do this. And so what you got to do is you got to believe in yourself. And if you don't believe in yourself, you will never get I'm gonna put him in timeout because I like putting people in timeout. Um, you will never be able to get past that. Just order some yard signs to put out. All they say is pressure wash and my phone number. All right. It's not audio if feed problem. Legit, everyone. I don't know what the deal is. A guy paid me $875 to pressure wash his driveway and sidewalks. That was a major change in the way I think of estimates. You know, and this is something that you got to remember that you can do it. Man. Don't be afraid to charge. If you're getting high close rates, don't be afraid to charge. Just go out and do it. 225 yard signs out to start next month. Looks like Ashley is doing pressure washing ads, hoping she can bring in the heat like that for lights. Now, I'm going to be real honest with you, Nathan. And I've talked to Ashley. I've been, we went to the same conference all week. So she was in Dallas when I was in, she was in there. And pressure washing is not easy to get leads for people. And she'll tell you she don't like doing pressure washing ads. So these are some things that if you're doing window cleaning is one thing, but pressure washing is another thing. I landed 620 house washes, 30 cents a square foot, right? Um, Got my skid last week from Cody. Oh my gosh, my house is looking amazing. Um, Rivertown Pro Wash, we did 29,000 in January and we're on track to do 25,000 in February. Price is never the issue, right? It's not. The only reason why it's the issue is because you make it an issue. And that's the problem. So, well, other than that, I know I made it 30 minutes, but I do know I can see it on my screen that we're having issues. Chris Johnson killing it already this year. He is. He is. And so he's going to do awesome. I'm going to have his website up, and it's already up, but it's going to even do better. Sell them on the need of the job. Actually, sell them on their pain points. We're not doing pressure washing, right? We need to sell them on their pain points. I mean, what is their pain points? Well, you don't know unless you shut up on the phone and let them talk. And when you let them talk, you'll know what their pain point is. And when you know what their pain point is, guess what? You can upsell them on their pain points because they're going to tell you what is they want and how they want it. But if we think that we got to go in and do it on whatever, then that's the problem. Got a couple jobs already, just ready for Kentucky to make up its mind for weather. Well, good luck on that because Kentucky weather changes from one day to the next day to the next day, for sure. So, thanks for the circle that I'm in, and I've learned a lot in the past 3 months. Keep up. So my goal is to help you. My goal is, and so one other thing I'm gonna try to get together. One thing I'm getting together this week is some paid. How much I'm gonna start charging for the new websites and all the stuff that come out this week. But I want to get out a page that people will be able to fill out when they hit $100,000, and if I've helped them in any way to hit that $100,000, so that way I can start keeping a track for myself. It's just like I was talking about marketing, right? If we don't have a way to track stuff, then that's a problem. I don't have a way. My goal is to hit 1,000 people to $100,000, and I don't have that tracked right now. And so I need to track that so that way I can say, hey, you know what? I'm at 75 people right now. Hey, I'm at 350 people. I only got 650 more to go, right? And so I need to track it, just like you need to track your marketing. Is your marketing working? Is the yard signs working? Is the Facebook ads working? Is the Google ads working? Is what you're doing, money you're putting out there, working and helping us grow our business? These are things that if we don't track, we don't know. And so that's why it's important that we keep a track of stuff so that way we know when stuff is growing. I need window cleaning pricing, restaurant single level. I have no idea. I'm not a window cleaner, but I'm sure someone on here is. Thanks, Cody. We are digging in wide open this year. Um, so use, yeah. Uh, but these are some things. Yep, price is a myth. Working on moving to Lexington so I can get GMB in Lexington. I'm freaking third page for pressure washing. Yeah, that can suck sometimes, but it's part of it. You go up and down. I'm going to start advertising in Myrtle Beach since some of them want to advertise in my area. I have a small GX390. Is there a suitable to try and make some money? Or is it a waste for at 4 gallon a minute? I'm scared to surface clean these new driveways and a new development. What should I do? 2 years old. If they're 2 years old, you should be fine with it. A 4 gallon a minute is plenty big enough to start and grow your pressure washing business. So this is some things that you will be fine. There's no reason that a 4 gallon a minute. In fact, a lot of people starting this business have started with a 4 gallon a minute pressure washer. Some of them have started with a 2.3. So that's a good pressure washer. Them Honda G9 or 390s are pretty solid at the end of the day. Um, Cody 390s are legit for things. I did a lot with a 4 gallon a minute for sure. Um, I run a 6.5 on a Honda G90 360, great for residential. But GX390 makes a gang of money. So I want to know, I want to ask a question that I want to see what your all's answers are. And I want to know how you're going to do it. And so my question to everybody is what is your goal for 2023 money wise or any goal? What is your goal and how do you plan to get there? That is my question. What is your goal for 2023? It might be money. It might be, I want to hit a 500 reviews. I don't know what your goal is. But tell me one of your goals for 2023 and how do you plan to get there? That's the question, right? Do you have a plan? Or do you just have goals written on paper with no plans, right? Because if we do, then that's not always a good thing. So we can grow in our business. The 390 will make you a gang of money. What is the max driving for time? Hour to hour and a half. It's a motor to have before taking the leap to 8 gallon minute. Yep, for sure. But I want to hear. I don't know. The chat went dead. I don't know why. But my question is what is your goal for 2023, and what is your plan to get there? And the reason why I'm asking you this is these are things that I want you to bring up and I want you to think about these things, right? I want you to think about what is my goal. I hope you wrote your goal down somewhere and not just, oh, this is my goal, and you never wrote that goal down and you're never looking at it. So these are what I want to know. So Nathan is 250 in washing. Lights is in lights. I need 78 more customers, 250 in washing. I plan to double my marketing budget. I don't have specifics, but I'm going after commercial jobs like the hospital. If a company has time limit, they are not getting hired. Period. I'm planning to build a $50,000 to $60,000 trailer all for myself. Brand new, cleaned up first house today. My goal is 20,000. I signed up for you full membership recently. I want you to be my mentor, not the four horsemen. um, I would rather hire someone who does it right, no matter how long it takes. Is it faster for a 16-inch surface cleaner, or 4 gallon a minute, or a 20? You're probably going to be quicker on a 16. $75,000. I want to hit $50,000 utilizing yard signs and utilizing my CRM to send out mass emails to my previous customers for my future work. Now, I like that, but I'm going to give you another word of advice. I think you can do more than that. I think you can do more than that, Jason. More than 50,000. And I would also ask for referrals, and I would also text. I wouldn't just mass email. I would also consider doing text and doing short text blasts. Joseph wants to do $100,000 in yard signs and website. Um, 2023 goal, just getting started. 2030, especially if I'm paying thousands of dollars for pressure washing jobs, which I can never do. $100,000 marketing all local schools for teacher appreciation, hit 200 to 250 Google reviews. $50,000 in revenue, investing a lot into marketing. Good. Thank you. I will do that. Yes, that's another. I want to get a 3-pack for some keywords. I've already got it liked. My goal is $50,000. 2023. My only business is part time. I'm putting out 40 signs per month. Good. So you can see when we start writing our goals, right, and we start looking at them, it helps us look at these things. We can look at it and we can say, look how far we've come. I know I've read some people that are just starting out. We got some people trying to hit, $250,000. We got some people trying to hit a lot, 500 5-star reviews. So when we write these goals down, this will help us out and think that we have to, what we need to do so we can start pushing it. We have about 400 companies last time I checked with the chemical company. A lot of overnight blow ups and blowouts. Right? And so we don't want you to be a blowout. We want you to be a blow up company. For sure. So, what other questions do you all got? Honestly, if I want to make 100,000 for marketing, I'll do it. Or is Shaq coming back? Um, that's a shame, Shaq. 150,000, 105-star reviews, placed in the top 30 for possible quotes. Yeah. Um, so I'm going to hit on some things that I learned this week. Did you know? Did you know that 90% of people will look at their text within like 5 minutes? Did you know that? Did you know that 40% of those people will respond back to a text? Did you know that? Did you know that if you are the first person to get back to the person, you're like 80% chance of closing that job because you're the first person? Did you know that? Did you know that if you respond to somebody within the first 5 minutes, it's like 90% or 80% chance that you're going to get the job? So let's talk about that a little bit. Let's talk about, are you the first to get back to these people? Are you the first to, when someone emails you, how long is it taking before you get that email back? Right? What's taking you so long to get that email back? If someone is on the website and they send you something, how long is it taking you to get that bid back out to them? Are you getting it back right away? Or are you doing it that night? Are you not doing it at all? Right? And so there's a study out that it's like 60% don't get back at all. So this is why it is important that we get out within fast. So, not only that we have our phone open and going and answering it, but are you answering it through text? Are you answering it through the email? Did you know that like 70% of people don't want to talk on the phone? They would rather text back and forth. So, what are you doing to change that? That's the question, right? What are you doing to change that? Are you just doing it your way because that's the way you always do it? Or are you communicating to that customer because that's the way they communicate? These are things that are very important when we're thinking about how do we get more customers. We don't really need to think about how do we get more customers. How do we close the customers that we're already getting that we're losing because we're not getting back to them, right? So, what are you doing to close the jobs that you are getting that you're not responding back? 50, 60% never respond back to the form quotes because they never do it. What are you doing to make that not possible? What are you doing to make sure that you are responding back to your customers? You're paying ads for it. Why aren't you doing things to make that? 50K in 7 months as a side hustle first year. Doable, Jason? Yep, it is. I snag jobs from competition all the times just from answering the phone and showing up. When Andrew and Savannah was here, they were talking that they did like a $20,000 job because they called five other pressure washing companies and they were the first to answer. How much is that phone call worth to you? Is it worth a couple $1,000s for you not to answer that phone? Or do you need to start answering that phone so that way you can start getting and answering the phone, being the first, right? 80% of the people close because they're the first to answer usually. Don't drop the mic, even if you don't think people see you and hear you, they do. They even hear every time. Just something controversial and they be all over you. Um, in wintertime or downtime, do you stop your liability insurance? I usually go have people go to Christmas lights, so no. Because we don't feel the pain of paying for it. Imagine if we paid cash for everything we did. I think you would be a lot more cautious and make it worth it. There's a lot of popping up on Google near me as well. Hey Jason, I just ordered my yard signs yesterday. Can't wait till them all come in. Awesome, Artie. You should just go hang out in the crowd with you. Agree. If you don't like the content, just leave. I didn't even see his. Oh, let lots will burn out very quickly, though. I don't worry about that. And why do people burn out? Why do people burn out? I'll tell you why people burn out. You want to know why people burn out? Because they work a job and not a business. It's a job and not a business. And if you have a job and not a business, you can't be mad at the boss but self. It's the only person you can be mad at because you are the boss. So that's the only person you can be mad at. So are you doing the things you need to do so that way you can grow your business? These are things that we have to think about when we're doing this. It's a ton of work. You just got to get the leads. They aren't focused on their goals if they have any. 100%. Um, but well, I'm gonna jump off here. I got to fly out tomorrow. We're in Orlando right now. We're gonna fly out tomorrow. We're gonna get our wings on. We're going home, and can't wait to see the kids and wife. This is something that I love to do to travel and teach people, but I also love to be home with the kids and wife. Many YouTubers out there would have you to believe if you buy their pressure wash, if you buy a pressure washing washer, people are just going to throw money at you and you'll pull 250 because you own a pressure washer. You're right. And this is so true. And I don't believe this at all. And this is something that you are 100% right on that. There is a lot of people that are selling equipment out here, and that you go buy my equipment will make you $250,000, and I will promise you, you will be selling that rig for half the cost that you got. And if you don't believe that's true, go out there and look on YouTube, or go out there and look on Craigslist and Facebook, and you'll find all kind of rigs of the $20,000 and $30,000 rigs up for sale for half the price. Why is that? Because they went and they usually say we have a lifestyle change, or and what that means is they couldn't find business, because that's what they did. And this is why I tell people, if you're starting a pressure washing business, how much ever you spend in marketing, you can spend in equipment. If you're not willing to spend $3,000 in equipment, then don't spend, or in marketing, don't spend it on equipment, because you're going to go out of business. That's just the way it is, right? Now, there's very few that might be different, but that's just the way it is. Is it legal to drive into a neighborhood and do airdrop advertisement? I don't know what airdrop advertisement is, unless you're talking about the clip flyers. But all right, guys. Well, I hope you all have a great week. I'm going to jump off here. I'm tired. It's been a long week. And um, go check out King of Pressure Wash if you need anything. KingofPressureWash.com. This is something that if you need online training, you can go check it out. Also, if you want to do in-person training, we got some of the trainings up. I'm going to try to get the rest of the trainings up for the year, so that way we can start planning them out, and you all can plan out which training you want to come to. But other than that, if you want to know when I go live on YouTube, you can text King, King, to 859-696-1101. But other than that, I hope you all have a great night, and we'll see you all later.